and welcome to We Poets. My name is Sally Baker and I'm the host of We Poets. We Poets is a poetry show for boys and girls between the ages of 6 and 13. So if you would like to be on the program, please have your parents or your school teacher call me. I'm always looking for new youngsters to come and be on the show. Also, I'm always interested in interviewing adult guests who tell young people something about their jobs or careers that young people can pursue when they graduate from high school and college. And we're always looking for high school interns, so we have a place for everybody here on We Poets. Today we don't have any poets because it's summer vacation, but I have a very special guest that I've known for many years, and his name is Ken Alexander. He is a typewriter repairman. A lot of people don't have typewriters anymore, but he still repairs them, so we're going to hear from him today. Hi, Ken.
Hi, Ms. Baker. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad you could come and tell young
me.
people about how you repair typewriters, and maybe they would like to become a typewriter repair person. Tell us how you got started.
Well, to be honest with you, I got started kind of by accident.
Oh.
And I'll give you a little background here. I was, right after high school, I enrolled in a junior college, and this was like 1972.
Oh.
Okay, and I was taking computer classes, believe it or not. Now, of course, in '72, the computers they took up a whole room.
Oh, yes.
And they were huge, monsters. And so I'm going to get into this. I'm going to get into this computer stuff. It's really cool. So I'm getting into that. We're actually doing it really mechanical. We're writing software.
Oh.
By hand. Yeah, way before that. I mean, we're writing this out by hand. Now, later on, I'm watching television, and this commercial comes on. And it's for a computer school in San Francisco.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going looking at this. Well, this is a fast track to a career. So I dropped out of college, went and applied for for a student position at the computer school, failed miserably.
Oh.
Failed miserably. But here's what happens. I failed that, but at that time, that school was offering typewriter repair courses as well. And so I'm going, I've got nothing else to do, so I signed up for it. And so for the next 9 months, I was getting up at 6 a.m. and having to be in class at 7.
At 7?
At 7 in the morning, yeah. And those days, of course, the Vietnam War was still going on. And what the school did is that they paired us up, the students. Now, most of the guys in the class, I was probably the youngest. I was maybe 19 or 20.
Yes.
Most of these guys were coming back from the war. And so my bench partner, because they put us in twos in the class, so we worked together. My bench partner happened to be a 35-year-old Green Beret.
Oh.
I'm this 20-year-old snot-nosed kid. This guy's just a war hero, you know. But he was a nice guy. He didn't put me down or anything. And but I was really into it. I got into it after a while, and so I actually finished first in my class.
Good for you.
Yeah, I finished first in my class, and it was just from there on, started working. I do have a story about trying to get a job, and it did take me a while to get a job, to be honest with you. I just didn't do school, and some company hired me. No, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
No, that didn't happen. I started trying to go to the major companies first. IBM, Smith Corona, Royal. They all had offices in Oakland at that time.
Oh.
All of them, even IBM.
Uh-huh.
And so I go to interview at IBM. Quick story here. I go to work, try to get an interview at IBM. Now it's pouring down raining.
Oh.
And it's 1974, so I've got a big natural afro,
oh, yes,
right?
Yes.
It's pouring down raining, and I get there, and I park, and it's a distance between our parking lot to the office. My hair just went.
Oh, no.
So I'm going there looking like a wet dog. And all these, executive type. Now, they were good to me, though. They did let me apply for the job and let me go through the rigmarole, even though I looked a mess.
Oh.
But it was okay, though. I was all right. So I stopped trying to go to the larger companies and started going to the smaller
companies.
Yeah. And at the time in Berkeley, there were probably 6 typewriter stores just in this city alone.
Really?
They were practically next door to each other.
Oh.
Because, you had the UC students. That's what they were using in the 70s were typewriters.
Yes, typewriters.
You had faculty. They were also using them. And so one business couldn't handle the whole university. So there were several of them lined up around the perimeter of that campus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I finally landed a job. and it's called. It was called Berkeley Typewriter, and it was up right across from Sproul Hall. If you people are familiar with the campus, it was right across from Sproul Hall, and they gave me my first job, $125 a week. I was ecstatic.
That was big money in those days.
That was big money because I was making $1.65 at the car wash that I was working. So I'm going, yay, okay. So I ended up staying there for about 7 or 8 years, and I got to know a lot of. It was funny because I am, 19, 20 years old, and I'm the same age as these kids that are going to school across the street. So I ended up going to a couple of frat parties, right?
Wow.
So it was right, but it was a great job. The gentleman who hired me, it was just him and the service manager. They were both war veterans, Korean War veterans, and they probably taught me more than that school did. Because now I'm in the real world now, not just in a classroom. I've got this thing on a bench, it's a customer's machine. I've got to fix it. I hope I can fix it. And these guys, they just walked me through everything. They taught me so much.
Isn't
so
this
much.
great?
Yeah, more than I ever learned in school. You gotta get that real world experience.
Yes.
So it was fantastic. So from there, I just I started working at other couple shops around the area. I just switched off and. It wasn't anything. I just left. No bad feelings or anything. Just wanted to try something different.
Something different, yeah.
Just something different, yeah. And so I ended up working actually right down the street at the competitor's office, and I stayed there for a few years too. And I was there at that place at let me see. During the earthquake in '89.
Oh, yes.
And I'm in the shop. I'm just coming off the Cypress structure. In those days, we used to do service calls. So we'd go out to businesses, come back. And I was coming back off the old Cypress freeway. And an hour later, I figured the thing collapsed. I mean, I was just that close. It was the scariest thing I ever did.
I could imagine.
I would imagine. And then I had a new baby at the house. I had a 1-month-old and a 4-year-old at the house, and I'm trying to rush to get home to get to them to see if they're all right.
Okay.
Yeah, and it turned out everything was okay though.
Yeah.
But got into this business by accident. But I'm glad I did because I've always liked to, when I was a kid, me and my friends, we built scooters, we build everything, to ride with. So I already know how to use a screwdriver and all that when we were kids coming up, so it was all right.
So now you told me how you got your first job. Now, what type of people use your service?
Well, then it was students, of course, business. I mean, every law office, every doctor's office. I went to so many service calls and just any kind of business you named, especially the professional business, especially professionals, the doctors, lawyers, things like that. And they all basically had IBM type typewriters. They didn't have the small portables. They had the office size models. And that was then. Now, most of our customers are the creative types.
Oh.
Yes, they're writers.
Writers, okay.
They're poets.
Poets.
And journalists, of course, that still like to type on typewriters. They still like to do their stuff on a typewriter. So that's mainly who I get in there. And believe it or not, a lot of younger people, people in their 30s, are actually buying these. And I know they got the laptop and everything at home, but they still want a typewriter because these are the ones that want to be writers. And so the reason they want a manual typewriter because it gives them more creativity.
Oh.
Yeah. See, looking at a computer screen, it's soulless.
Yes.
It's dead. It's just a screen. It's got nothing. But when you have a typewriter and you're hearing it, you're clicking it, you get that tactile feeling going, and that's what generates those creative juices.
Yes.
And these people, they just love it.
Love it.
They just love it to death. And so, it paid to take typing class in school.
Oh, yes. I took typing and shorthand, too.
Shorthand, too. Yes, exactly.
Now, do you find that more men are repairmen than women?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
This is something women sort of
I have not seen a woman repair a
Really?
person. No, I've never met one. I've never met one. I've never met a woman repair person. But the groups online right now, they do have women in those. These repair groups and groups that share their machines. There are quite a few women there. But I've never seen one in a shop. I've never really thought about that. I guess I was being sexist and thinking, well, this is a man's job anyway. So, but that would have been interesting to have how a woman would approach a repair on a machine like that. That's interesting.
Now, do you find that most of the customers are older women, because older women still want to use the typewriters, or were secretaries when they were younger?
Yep, and they want to go back. Yeah, I get a lot of older women who are retired, but they still want the typewriter. And of course, what they typed on at work is what they want to type on at home, which is the IBM Selectric, the one with the ball on it. And so they are, even today, they haven't made them in 20 or 30 years.
I know.
But they still are selling. People are still buying them. They still want them. If that's about the only electric one. A lot of my customers, they want a manual. They want something, like I've got these portables here. And these are what they call, I think they're known as ultra portables. They're small, they're compact, they're not toys. They are working machines. Fully functional typewriters. Just don't let the size fool you. They are really fun. But what they are good for, you can take them anywhere.
Yes, they're lightweight, aren't they?
They're lightweight. You can put them in a backpack, a laptop bag. You can go up to the beach, to the mountains, and I certainly have a lot of customers that do just that. They take them everywhere with them.
Now, do people take them when they travel abroad?
Yes. Yeah, they do take them when they travel abroad as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they'll take them anywhere. And I get a lot of people that actually are sort of, I call them semi-collectors. They actually have more than one typewriter.
Oh, yes.
There's some that have 5, some that have 15 machines.
15 typewriters?
Oh, yeah. I've asked several people that, I've got about a dozen now. Yeah, I got that. And no, they actually want them. I mean, because each machine is engineered differently. And so the touch is going to be different. This Olivetti is not going to feel like that brother, not going to feel like the Royals. No. They're all engineered differently, and they all tell you that they have the best touch.
Yes.
But so people, you generally base your purchases on the way this typewriter feels. If it's got that nice snap to it, and they like that. And some keyboards are a little spongy, they're like, but some people like that.
Yeah.
So you've got all this variety. So that's why I think you get a lot of people that they feel like typing on the spongy one today, and I want to type on the snappy one this day. So, but probably the biggest collector, if I may name drop here, would be probably Mr. Tom Hanks.
Oh, okay.
Yes, who is an avid collector of typewriters. Matter of fact, in the documentary that was made a few years ago, which is called California Typewriter, by the way, you can see it on YouTube, and you might want to try it. He has probably well over 200 machines.
200?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. He's up to 200. He actually sent us one here at the shop I'm working at now, that's like Berkeley Typewriter. It's in a different location. But he sent us a machine about 6 months ago and signed it, autographed it. Yeah. And people have written him letters, and he'll write you back.
Oh, that's good.
Or type you back, rather.
Type you back.
Type you back.
Yes.
Send him an email.
Wow.
It's gone. He does not do emails. He loves his typewriter.
He loves his typewriter.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, listen, why don't we take a little break?
Okay.
And then we're going to come back, and then we're going to talk more about these typewriters.
Sure.
So boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Don't turn off those TVs.
All right.
Welcome back to We Poets. I'm Sally Baker, the host, and I'm interviewing Mr. Ken Alexander, who is a typewriter repairman. So, Ken, here we go. Now, do you want to talk about these typewriters, please?
Okay. Well, I bought a few here. Not a few, a couple here. One is Brother. This is a Japanese company. They've been around for everything. They were primarily known in the 60s for their sewing machines.
Sewing machines?
Yes, they manufactured sewing machines.
Okay.
And they were actually pretty good. A lot of the companies that manufactured one thing, a lot of them jumped into the typewriter business. Remington, the gun maker.
Yes.
Yeah, they have typewriters. This Brother here is I think they're referred to as ultra portables. You can see it's about 10 pounds or so. It has a top cover that slips over it, and you're ready to roll.
Wow.
Really easy. And it has the same setup as a full-size machine. We have the line space lever. It's funny when people come into the shop sometimes and they're so used to a computer, they'll type on the typewriter And then now ask me where the enter key is at.
Where the enter key is? Oh, okay.
It's right here.
It's right here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is what's called the line space lever. Once you finish, you go to the next line, and it spaces according to how much you got to adjust it. You can go single or double space. You can change it.
Wow.
It has a pull off the cover here. Now, the printing is done by a nylon or cotton ribbon. As you can see, when you hit a key, it goes up, but that ribbon also raises up to it, and it meets it right at the roller there, at the platen. It's called a platen, and that's what causes it. Meanwhile, the ribbon is actually moving, so it's not in the same spot, so it can dry out. It'll keep every time you hit a key, the ribbon moves. And these are designed to, when the ribbon gets to the end, you don't have to take it out and flip it over. It'll reverse direction automatically.
Okay.
So you don't have to do anything except type it. You only have to change the ribbon until you think it's too late.
So what would be something that you'd repair on this machine if somebody brought it in?
Okay. A lot of times a lot of the machines are having problems because they haven't been used.
Oh, yes.
These are mechanical things. They have to be used.
They have to be used.
You can't set it in a closet or put it in an attic and then expect it to work perfectly when you get out. So most of the repairs that come into the shop, they're dirty. They're gummy. They're sticky.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they got eraser dust all in it
Oh,
for people
yes.
erasing in it. And essentially, that's pretty much on most of these machines what I do on them. Now, there are occasions when I do have to do some adjustment. Maybe the upper case is not lined up with the lower case, and you have to adjust that. You want to make sure that they're even there.
I see.
Okay, and you know, sometimes mechanical things, space bar may stick, the backspace might not work.
I see. So these are some of the
you take
things you'd repair.
Yeah. Now,
How about
most
this?
typewriters, now the Olivetti here, is this one's kind of unique and ultra portable. This is sort of standard because a lot of the companies, including Royal, Smith Corona, everybody made one of these small machines.
Oh.
But they tend to be stripped of features as opposed to as larger typewriters are, except for this one here. This is the Olivetti made in Italy, lever 32. It came out around 1970s, in the mid 70s or so.
Wow.
And by the way, we have a solid black ribbon on this, but you can use black and red. But if you don't need red, put an all black one on it. It'll give you more mileage.
I see.
Okay. Now this one, unlike this machine here, this machine has a lot more features on it. It has a touch control. You want less or more resistance on the keys, you can adjust it. It has a tabulator. What this does, it lets you do things like columns. You can set this carriage to pre-stop wherever you want, and it'll always come back there and line it up. So it's great for doing columns, things like that. And you can set those anywhere on the typewriter. In the left knob here, this is really good if you got to do forms.
Oh.
Because you put a form in, and it doesn't line up. It doesn't line up with the where it's going to type at. It's too high or too low. This is known as a variable. Now what this does, as you can see, you hear that clicking sound. That's the whole platen turning. We push this in. We're going to get rid of that, and now we're going to have, notice that, and this gives you a fine adjustment. You can get right on that line of that form if you want to, and then you can go from there.
Now, do you have manuals that come with these so that when a person buys one of these,
we
they
try
know
to
what
get the
to do?
manuals for them. We try to get the manuals. Of course, you come in the store and you don't know about the machine. I'll sit down with you and go through everything that you need to know about it. How to load the paper, how to change the ribbon if you want, and you know we'll do that as part of our service.
And you do house calls too, right?
We used to,
but not anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore. It's not feasible for us to do a house call. But we did do service calls at one point, though.
I know you did.
Yeah, we did. I was all over the place.
Now, in order for typewriters not to go into the landfill, when you get all these typewriters, who brings these older typewriters into your?
Pretty much everyone. A lot of young people whose their grandparents or their great or aunt or something they passed away, and they went to go clean out the house, and then they find Grandpa's typewriter up in the attic or in the basement.
I see.
And so they don't want to throw it in the landfill. Of course, these young people, they're too eco-conscious. So,
yes.
Yeah, and so they'll bring them to us. And the thing is that we can always use them. We never turn them down. Oh. Because I can't buy parts new anymore.
That's right. Yes. So you've got these
I've got these machines, and if we can get them working, fine. If not, they become parts.
Okay.
They're never
thrown away. Oh, good.
Never
because our landfills are getting filled up so quickly.
Yes, exactly. No, we try to keep everything. And this past week was particularly interesting because just like every day this week, someone came in and donated a typewriter to us.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. And we'll take them all for sure.
Sure,
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
good.
It's just amazing how these younger people. I'm really impressed with how they are really into these things.
Now, what's the most unusual house call or that you've made or typewriter that you repaired?
Well, it wasn't exactly a house. It was a tanker ship.
Tanker ship?
Out in the middle of San Francisco Bay.
Wow.
So we get a call, and they have a machine on there. They need some service on it. And so I guess the company, the tanker people, they arranged for other service people too. So it was me, a computer technician, and a navigation specialist.
Oh.
We go to the Oakland estuary, we get on a water taxi, and we drive right out in the middle of the bay. And there we come, then you see this huge ship out here.
Oh.
And it's huge, and I'm going, how am I going to get in? Is there a bottom door? Well, I found out a couple minutes later how we're going to get on board.
Oh.
You know, all of us had toolkits with us. So what they did first is that they threw ropes down and tied up our toolkits, pulled them on. And then I felt like it was in a John Wayne movie in 1947 because what they did next was throw one of those rope ladders over. And you know, if you ever seen those little movies with these guys, yeah, and we're doing that. We're climbing up a rope ladder
onto the ship.
Onto the ship. Climb on and climb off.
Wow.
And I've never been so scared in my life. I don't think I was going to make it. I mean, I think I had some dress shoes on or something. It was crazy, but we did make it though. And interesting thing is that I guess when you're on a ship like that for so long, you don't tend to see too many people. So we get on board and they start treating us like royalty. The captain comes and introduces, and his first officer. You know, they wanted me to have coffee with them.
Yes, wonderful. So that was an unusual.
That was an unusual call. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. The other one was actually I had a call on a Navy ship. This was back in the 80s when there was threat of domestic terrorism. And so it took me like a half an hour just to get on this ship. You know, maybe they were checking and everything. And then their tensions were kind of high in those times anyway. They were, you know, so I think there was some domestic violence, domestic terrorism going on. So I get on the ship finally. And we proceed to go down, and you know, those bulkheads that are coming like that. I kept hitting my head on them because I had this toolkit and I had some dress shoes on, and you know, I'm slipping, almost breaking my neck, trying to keep following my escort. My escort. I mean, I'm ducking, I'm kind of here, and he's just, you know, he's so used to it. He's just going down the stairs like nothing. You know, I'm, bam, oh gosh, I hit it again. Finally get down there, fix the machines. I come back up, got the escort. Next thing you know, I think somebody yelled or something, and it was like, "Don't nobody move!" And my escort said, "Don't move, stand right there, right there." And then the next thing you know, here comes these military police, and they got their weapons out, and they're talking about anybody move, we're gonna get shot. I turned into a statue. Yes, I did. And, I mean, they were really just leery about somebody, because it turned out that was an ammunition ship. Oh my God! I don't know what they were carrying, bombs or whatever. But it was an ammo ship, though. So yeah, they were really leery on letting people all get on board that thing.
Sure.
Yeah. So a couple of crazy calls, but they were memorable.
Yes. Now, before we end our interview, why don't you tell us about this card you got from somebody in Germany?
Oh, okay. Well, I've been very blessed to have people write me, especially since the documentary came out.
Yes.
And people I didn't know, the documentary started out to be small, but it turned out to be a full-length one. And so it's got to be shown, and people loved it. I got this letter from Germany, a gentleman in Germany. And I'm going to open it here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can I put it here, or should I just hold it up?
Just hold it up to the camera.
Okay. I'm going to open it. And first of all, he put a roll of those seals on it, and it's a seal of a typewriter. I had to break it, but I'm going to show this to you. This is a handmade letter. And it folds up, folds down, folds up. And if you notice, it's got, let's take that out of there, pictures of these beautiful landscape and so on. I'm not sure what country this is. I'm not sure if this is Germany or not, but it looks like this came out of a magazine or something. And he made an envelope out of it. Amazing. And then what's inside are invoices, all in German, uh, and they are dated. Everything's in German, and they are dated 1951.
1951.
Yeah, everything here is all listed. This is a German typewriter shop, and everything here, and this is before 3 years before I was born.
Yeah.
But this document still looks in pristine condition. Now he did that, and then on the back he actually wrote me a letter in English. It's too long to read.
What does he tell us briefly?
It says he was inspired by the documentary.
That he saw of you.
He saw me in the documentary.
Yes.
And he was inspired. Apparently, people think I don't like to really brag on myself. I'm not really a personality actor kind of person, just a regular guy. But people seem to like me in that film, and I even got my picture in Time magazine.
Good.
Yeah, New York magazine. I mean, everything. But he was saying that he was just.
So impressed.
So impressed with it that, gosh, he's typing on this. It's Tom Hanks. He mentions Tom Hanks in there. And it's just like he just got started on typewriters. Now, this isn't the only communication I got from Germany, by the way. Several months ago, a woman sent me an email with a request. And she is a musician. Songwriter, and she's about to put her third album out, and wanted to know, could she write a song about me?
How nice! And I hope you said yes.
Oh, I did. I can't wait to hear it. I just really flabbergasted. I mean, these typewriter people they're worldwide.
Worldwide.
I get this resurgence it's real.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
And so proud of it. I've been able to interview you twice on We Poets. Now we're just about out of time.
Okay.
Would you give us the name of your company where people can come in and have their typewriters to be repaired so they don't go to the landfill, and the hours or the phone number or the email?
That's right.
It'll come up on the screen, but I want you to tell it too.
Okay.
Give us your name again.
All right, my name's Ken Alexander. Now, this is California Typewriter with a shirt in honor of the original place where I worked at in the documentary. But I'm at Berkeley Typewriter, so I've really kind of come full circle. I started at Berkeley Typewriter, and I'm ending at Berkeley Typewriter.
Yes.
It is in Berkeley, obviously, 1823 University Avenue, 1823 University, and across the street would be Martin Luther King. The shop is open 6 days a week from 10 until 4. We've got machines for sale. We do repairs. We've got several different brands. So I'm sure there's something that we can hook you up with. That's nice. And please come by and see me. Just come by and say hi. If you saw the documentary, come by and say hi. It's great. So but the shop is going okay.
Good.
As long as people keep
repairing these typewriters, so don't put them in the landfill.
Don't put them in the landfill.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
These are a big part of our history. I mean, when this was invented, I believe it was like 1876, the first one.
Really?
Yeah, like a gentleman named Christian Latham Scholes or something like that. Latham Scholes. He developed the first commercial typewriter. Now, I've got to remember, the first typewriters that were commercially, you could not see what you're typing on.
Oh.
Because the keys, as you see, they hit here, they would hit from the bottom. The early machines. So you got to imagine the skill the secretaries had in 1900 to type on these things.
Yes.
They could not make a mistake.
I know.
And some of them didn't have a backspace on it either.
Oh, really?
No, they didn't. No.
Wow.
The first ones were what they call an understrike. And this is I believe the Underwood Company developed the first front strike machine. Because I believe when typewriters were first invented, they weren't going after the public. They were going after business. They wanted to put these in offices where, you got 100 secretaries and they got to get all this paperwork.
Yes.
Yeah, they want to make money. But what the Underwood Company did is that they developed what they call a front strike machine. This one here, you can actually see what you're typing.
Yes.
And they dominated the market.
I'm sure.
And because they were selling to the public.
Yes.
They were selling to everybody. Schools, everything.
Everything.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes, indeed.
Amazing.
Do you go out to schools and give talks about being a repair person?
I haven't in a while. I'm scheduled to go to my son. He works at a school in Oakland, and he wants me. We're putting something together.
Good.
So I'm going to go up there and teach and talk to these 8th graders and see if they like. Be honest. I mean, a lot of these kids, they're fascinated with them.
Oh, I'm sure
because
they
they've
are.
never seen them.
I'm
and
sure
so they look
are.
at it. Even I bring my grandkids to the store, and it's like, wow, it really fascinates them.
Yes.
They've never seen anything like this. Everything's so electronic in their hands. It's like it's something mechanical that you push and it comes up on the paper. That's magic.
That's magic. Now, how about senior citizens places? Do you think some of the seniors would like for you to come out maybe and give talks?
Well,
Maybe
they probably would.
their typewriters?
Yeah, because a lot of the seniors are probably more used to, or obviously going to be more used to typewriters than a later generation. So I'm pretty sure they probably would be interested. I mean, I get seniors coming to the store a lot.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
And we love to talk. You know, we'll talk about machines. They'll talk about where they had their typewriters at, or what they did with it, how they got their PhD using this machine.
Yes,
that sort of thing. And so they're very knowledgeable, and I think they would probably enjoy a little reminiscence.
Yes.
The story.
Well, I certainly have enjoyed this. It's been about 8 years since I interviewed you before.
I think it's been a while. And,
you're still doing good work and keeping these things out of the landfill. That's what we
are. We're going to because I want to put them out of the landfill and into these creative people's heads.
That's right.
Those are the ones that we're shooting these machines for. They're excellent typewriters, and they really will bring out the creative juices, if you will. And that's what they're really designed to do. And I hear it over and over from the writers that come into the store and the poets. And it's just amazing. Like I say, the Tom Hanks has probably led a resurgence of typewriters, and there are like probably 4 or 5 Facebook groups dedicated to typewriters. And these guys are I mean, they just won't stop. I mean,
keep on going.
They keep on going. Yeah. I mean, from this coast, I've got someone from China actually sent me a message. Yeah.
Wow.
China? Really? Okay,
So
China,
see, you're
Germany,
a worldwide known now.
Apparently, it's starting to get that way.
Excuse me. So when the lady writes a song about, when the lady writes a song about you, I'm going to have you come in and I'm going to interview you.
Okay, you got it. I'll tell you, we can bring it in and play it.
Well, thank you so much, Ken. It's been a wonderful interview, and I'm so proud of all the stuff that you've done.
Well, thank you, man.
So let's say goodbye to our watching audience. So boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Thanks. Goodbye. Be good.